Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narotaman Devim Sarasvatim Vyasam Tato Yayanuti Dayat. Before reciting the Srimad Bhagavatam, which is the very means of conquest, one should offer respectful obeisance unto the personality of Godhead, Narayana, unto Nara Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Sarasvati, the goddess of learning, and unto Srila Vyasadeva, the author. Today we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam 1-17. Srimbatan Swakatan Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtana Vid Antastohi Abhadrani Vidunoti Surit Satam. Translation. See Krishna, the personality of Godhead, who is the Paramatma, super soul in everyone's heart, and the benefactor of the truthful devotee, cleanses desires of material enjoyments from the heart of the devotee who has developed an urge for hearing his message, which are themselves virtues when properly heard and chanted. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Methods of the personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, are not different from him. Whenever, therefore, offenses less hearing and glorification of God are undertaken, it is to be understood that the Lord Krishna is present there in the form of transcendental sound, which is as powerful as the Lord personally. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in his Shishastaka, declares clearly that the holy name of the Lord has all the potencies of the Lord, and that he has endowed his innumerable names with the same potency. There is no rigid fixtures of time, and anyone can chant the holy name with attention and reverence at his convenience. The Lord is so kind to us that he can be present before us personally in the form of transcendental sound. I will read that again. The Lord is so kind to us that he can be present before us personally in the form of transcendental sound. But unfortunately, we have no taste for hearing and glorifying the Lord's names and activities. We have already discussed developing a taste for hearing and chanting the holy sound. It is done through the medium of service to the pure devotee of the Lord. The Lord is reciprocally respondent to his devotee. When he sees a devotee in complete sincere in getting admittance to the transcendental service of the Lord and has thus become eager to hear about him, the Lord acts from within the devotee in such a way that the devotee may easily go back to him. The Lord is more anxious to take us back unto his kingdom than we can desire. Most of us do not desire to at all go back to Godhead. Only a very few men want to go back to Godhead. But anyone who decides to go back to Godhead, Sri Krishna helps in all respects. One cannot enter the kingdom of God unless one is perfectly clean of all sins. The material sins are products of our desires to lord it over the material nature. It is very difficult to get rid of such desires. Woman and wealth are very difficult problems for devotees making progress on the path back to Godhead. Many stalwarts in the devotional line fell victim of these allurements and thus retreated from the path of liberation. But when one is helped by the Lord himself, the whole process becomes as easy as anything by the divine grace of the Lord. To become restless in the contact of woman and wealth is not an astonishment, because every living being is associated with such things from remote time, practically immemorial, and it takes time to recover from this foreign nature. But if one is engaging here in the glories of the devotee, but if one is engaging here in the glories of the Lord, gradually he realizes his real position. By the grace of God, such a devotee gets sufficient strength to defend himself from the state of disturbance, and gradually all disturbance elements are eliminated from his mind. Hari Hari. Text 18. By regular attendance in class of Srimad Bhagavatam and by rendering service to the pure devotee, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead, whose praise with transcendental song is established as an irrevocable fact. Here is the remedy for eliminating all inauspicious things within the heart, which are considered to be obstacles in the path of self-realization. The remedy is the association of the Bhagavatas. There are two types of Bhagavatas, namely book Bhagavata and the devotee Bhagavata. Both the Bhagavatas are completely remedies, and both of them or either of them can be good enough to eliminate the obstacles. A devotee Bhagavata is good. Sorry, I'm reading from the books. I forgot to change the screen. The devotee Bhagavata is a direct representative of Bhagavan, the personality Godhead. So by pleasing the devotee Bhagavata, one can receive the benefit of the book Bhagavata. Human reason fails to understand how by serving a devotee Bhagavata or the book Bhagavata, one gets gradually promoted to the path of devotion. But actually, the facts are explained by Sri Narada Deva, who happens to be the maidservant of son of his previous life. The maidservant was engaged in menial service of the sages, and thus he also came into contact with them, and by simple association with them, and by accepting the remnants of foodstuff laid by the sages, the son of the maidservant got the chance to be a great devotee and personality of Sri Narada Deva. These are the miraculous effects of the association of Bhagavatam. And to understand this effect practically, it should be noted that by such sincere association, the Bhagavatam, one is sure to receive transcendental knowledge very easily, with the results that he become fixed in devotional service of the Lord. The more progress is made in devotional service under the guidance of the Bhagavatas, the more one becomes fixed in the transcendental loving service of the Lord. The message of the book Bhagavata, therefore, has to be received from the devotee Bhagavata, and the combination of the two Bhagavatas will help the neophyte devotee to make progress on and on. Hari Hari Bol. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Bhakti Sadhana ki jai. See you tomorrow, all in the same place at the same time. Hari Hari Bol.